Back here for the security of the table. So hi everybody, my name is Hunter. I have the privilege of being Nathan's best man, and I've had the obligation of being his brother for all 21 years of my life. It's an honor to be standing up here with the first married couple in the family. It's really great to see you guys and shining. It's just awesome. When trying to decide whether to be sincere or sarcastic in my speech, I try to reflect on my relationship with Nathan, from childhood into our young adult years. It's actually quite impressive how we have been able to balance witty, offensive, and aggressive gestures with a good amount of deep conversations. I love this guy a lot, even when we heavily disagree, and his confidence, along with how informed you are in everything that you do, have really encouraged me and led me to be stronger in what I believe in. In the end though, his wit and sarcasm are what best define his personality. So I decided to go against my natural inclination of being sincere, and will now proceed to several minutes of making fun of Nathan. One thing that has always been true about Nathan is that he generally has something he's obsessing over with a lot of his free time. These things changed as he matured, and then briefly immatured, and then matured again. So I will now walk you through a list of what some of these obsessions were. My earliest memory of Nathan's obsessions were pretty wholesome. He loved VeggieTales, and specifically Larry Boy. Most of my family can remember him carrying around his Larry Boy doll wherever he went. This progressed into Thomas the Train Engine, which was a lot of fun for me because it brought a new shared set of toys into the house, and he would finally spend time with me. Also in childhood were karate and origami, which one would expect to stem from or turn into a love for anime around those times, but his love for anime did not come until much later in his life, late high school, early college. And although anime wasn't an interest until later in his life, he did have a love for another TV show, which was his most embarrassing obsession in my opinion, and hence my favorite, My Little Pony. Nathan Adams was a brony at one point in his life. And if I remember correctly, Josiah right here was right in there with him. So that's just great. More recently, he became more academic in his obsessions, and maybe that was to impress Stephanie, I'm not really sure. But he started exploring theology and language and its origins. And he spent a lot of time trying to learn specifically the Italian language so he could go read the books in the Vatican City, which I thought was pretty cool. But that kind of leads to the next obsession, which was, well, this isn't exactly correlated, but you'll see in a second here. His love for video games that he's had through all his life. And this subject has changed since he's grown, but I think the most notable one is his love for Team Fortress 2. And I looked up his hours a month ago on Steam. He has put 1,300 hours into Team Fortress 2 over the course of his life, which is 54 days, which is twice the average amount of time it takes to learn Italian. It's crazy. But it's okay, maybe it'll happen someday. I ran the calculations, and it's also the same amount of time I've spent in college lectures for my 6 semesters of college. And if you were to work a Wisconsin job at the average rate of $21 an hour, that would be over $21,000 you could have taken home before taxes. But I'm sure there was some sort of valuable skill you learned playing Team Fortress 2. Here go a few more. So meat, which may be the only consistently lasting one today. And this can be seen in the sign he's had in his car forever. Anybody that knows Nathan knows he has a sign that says carnivore on board. Motorcycles, which was pretty scary for my mom. And then one of the most recent ones was his obsession with this girl he met on Tinder, Stephanie. This is also the only obsession that has consistently lasted long and does not have an end in sight. Besides maybe his love for meat, but... It is also my favorite obsession of his, because this obsession not only brings Nathan joy, but also brings joy to me and my family. Everybody around benefits, and Stephanie, you really make Nathan a better person. And I trust that your union will help you grow even closer as you explore the adventure and gift of marriage. And Stephanie, it's not as easy to make fun of you because you really haven't wronged me in any significant way. So thank you for opening up to our family and bringing your kindness and humor into our lives. You are my new favorite sister. I look forward to growing closer to you for the next several decades. I think together we can find some pretty creative ways to team up against Nathan. You will also notice that none of these obsessions were how to swoon a pretty girl, so sorry Stephanie for Nathan's lack of charm. And I just have a couple of closing points here. So, for Nathan, this new and amazing season of your life starts now, and I'm so excited for you to experience something that I don't understand. I, of course, am not married, so I don't have wisdom to offer you from experience. I do know, though, from listening to other people, that through your service and commitment to one another, through your service and commitment to Stephanie, your love will grow stronger. Love is not just a feeling, but it's a choice and a discipline of laying down your own desires to show Stephanie how much she matters to you, and that humble sacrifice will be totally worth it. And Steph, you are such a patient person, and that will be totally necessary in your relationship. Thank you for loving him well and sharing in many of the interests and joys of his life. There is one piece of advice I would like to offer you. If you want to avoid future conflict in your marriage, please stop making Nathan eat broccoli. And I think you should become a master in cooking meats, and then his two lasting obsessions will become associated, increasing his love for both. Kind of like the three-strand cord analogy that Mark talked about earlier. Nathan, Stephanie, and a healthy amount of prime rib. I love you both, and I'm so blessed to be a part of this celebration. So let's raise a glass to Nathan and Stephanie.
I think we should give Hunter a round of applause. Now we have a few words from Tessa.